He is Sam Mellinger. I am Blair Kerkhoff. This is the show of Kansas City star sports types without a name, still looking for the title sponsor. Hey, busy weekend in sports in Kansas City. We could have used the extra hour instead of giving one up. It's going to be a busy week also this week. We've got a new athletic director at Missouri. The Royals can't seem to lose in Arizona. Even a swarm of bees can't stop the Royals. And we've got the Big 12 tournament this week. But let's start with the Kansas City Chiefs. Busy weekend for the Chiefs. A lot of moves. Sam, what do you make of – let's start with the offensive line, losing Rodney Hudson. What do you make of that?
I think that it's going to hurt them a lot. He was by far their best offensive lineman. But, you know, with the salary cap and the Chiefs are already kind of up against it, I just don't know that they could go to $9 million. You know, I saw a report that they had offered $6 a year during the past season. He turned that down. It was very important to him. He was sending out a lot of signals that he wanted to be the highest paid center in the NFL, and, you know, good for him. But once that price got up beyond 7 and certainly beyond 8, I just don't think the Chiefs could afford it. But they're going to miss him.
They are going to miss him. How about Tom Ali restructuring his contract? What's the value there for the Chiefs?
A lot. I was surprised that they were able to do that, and pretty impressed too, because I think that you know, Tamba didn't have to take that restructure, and if the Chiefs cut him, there's a good chance, very good chance, that he could have made more money on the open market if that's what he chose. But, you know, he's made a lot of money in his career, and obviously he wants to stay in Kansas City. I think that him and Justin Houston have really built kind of a genuine bond there, and I think they both want to work with D Ford and see where this thing goes. But that was, to me, I don't know how many people are really talking about a restructure. It's kind of a boring topic, but you know, that's really important for the Chiefs going forward to just not just keep him, but save some cap space too. Yeah.
Also important, the acquisition of a wide receiver who knows how to get into the end zone. Right. How about Jeremy Maclin?
Right, that'll be a bizarre sight if a wide receiver catches a touchdown. Yeah, it doesn't happen that much in sports, you know, where a fan or people like us can sit there and say, you know, this is an obvious point of need, you know, go do this one obvious move, and then it really plays out. And, you know, it's a lot of money. It's going to be at or close to $11 million a year. I'm still not sure what the guarantees are. I don't think that's come out yet. But, you know, NFL free agency is like notoriously just a terrible way, I mean, worse than baseball, really, of building a team. But I think a lot of the inefficiencies in that comes from, you know, taking a guy in one system and putting him in another. And that shouldn't be an issue here with Jeremy Maclin. You know, played his first 4 years in the NFL with Andy Reid and had a lot of success there. And just, you know, purely from what we all see on Sundays with the Chiefs, they needed somebody that could go down the field, stretch people out, and Maclin's also really good in the short passes, both with, you know, screen passes and going over the middle and stuff. So I mean, it's a perfect fit. It's an absolutely perfect fit. And you know, one thing that I'm looking forward to is the part of the Alex Smith debate that's always like, you know, well, he's got nobody to throw to. It's just Travis Kelce, Jamal Charles, and a bunch of, you know, nobodies. Like, that's over. At least,
right.
You know, we can all rest with that. But it's a perfect move for them.
And he played, of course, a couple of games at Arrowhead Stadium when he played for Mizzou, Big 12 championship games. And speaking of Mizzou, new athletic director there, Mac Rhodes. We don't know a lot about him, but what we do know is he made a couple of big hires at the University of Houston. He hired Kelvin Sampson as the basketball coach, Tom Herman as the football coach. He oversaw fundraising that to build a new football stadium at Houston. And although, you know, like again, this name kind of came out of left field for us, but not for Bowen Lofton, the Missouri president. He actually interviewed Mac Rhodes at Texas A&M for that job, the job that went to Eric Hyman in 2012. So there's a familiarity there with you know, with the president, and his new athletic boss replaces Mike Alden, who will step down in July. But we've got the Big 12 tournament this week. A lot going on. A lot of storylines. Kansas, of course, the number 1 seed. But I think 7, 8 teams could win the thing this week. Right. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, you can chop off Texas Tech. Probably,
I think we can start there.
And TCU, but you know, K-State's a long shot. But I mean, K-State's already, like you pointed out to me this morning, 5-3 against the top 4 seeds.
Crazy.
Right? So, I mean, it's just like the whole season, right? Like it's, you know, KU or Oklahoma, whoever you're gonna, and I'm taking KU down a little bit with, you know, Cliff Alexander may or may not be able to play, and Perry Ellis's injury, but whatever the best team is in that league, it's just not, you know, there's 7 good teams, right? And there's not one spectacular team. So I'm really looking forward to it as much as I have, probably since maybe even 2012, Missouri's last year. I don't know what you think.
Well, that was a phenomenal tournament.
Yeah.
We missed KU Missouri in the championship that
know.
year. Mizzou ended up winning it, but we're going to get some great matchups. Just already on the second day. The first day you got K-State, TCU, Texas Tech, and Texas on Wednesday. I always think that's a day when Kansas City shines because you can put 12 to 15,000 people in the Sprint Center for games that usually nobody cares about. Well, this year you got Kansas State in those games, so that'll be fun. The next day you've got West Virginia against Baylor.
Yeah.
I mean that's a
great game.
That's a great game. That's an NCAA tournament second round, maybe a Sweet 16 type of game. You got Bedlam with Oklahoma State playing, and then of course you'll have Kansas playing that day as well. So follow the coverage of the Big 12 tournament. The Chiefs, the Royals. High schools, Sporting KC. We didn't even get to Sporting KC, which opened up with a 1-1 draw this weekend against the Red Bull, in the print editions of the Kansas City Star and online at kansascity.com.